This is Reuben Langdon, and this is an interview for Rushdown Radio. Hi, guys. How's it going? First question. Who exactly is Reuben Langdon? I don't know if I've ever been asked quite that exact question, like who is? Like, usually it's like, what do you do? Describe yourself. And that's how we really, answer ourselves. We define ourselves by the things we've done. But is that us really? That's really just the stuff we've done. I think the who is Reuben Langdon question is a very deep, deep question. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure how to answer it. All I know is the typical answer, which would be a description of stuff I've done. And you can go to IMDb or, check out my website at reubenlangdon.com to see all the cool stuff that I've done. But the who is questions, I'm going to go through the rest of this interview and we're going to come back to the who is Reuben Langdon because we might get some insight onto who exactly Reuben is through the rest of, or by answering these other questions. So let's do that. Next question. How did I get started in doing motion capture and stunt work? Well, my very first motion capture job was for Resident Evil Code Veronica. I was cast as the role of Chris Redfield in that game series, doing the motion capture. At that time, in 1997, believe it or not, it's a long time ago. That's when I think it was like one of the first times motion captures was used in a game, or at least in a Japanese game, other than like Tekken and stuff. But in a Resident Evil game for sure. And I went to a casting with a bunch of other Japanese guys. I went through AAC, which was one of Japan's, and still is one of Japan's premier action teams, who I'd been training with and working out with. They called me to the audition, mostly because of my height. I think they were looking to cast people, physical actors who could act and do some physical martial arts and stunts and things, and who reached a certain height. And so I went to the audition. I was the only white dude. It wasn't the first time. I was living in Japan at the time, and I was pretty stoked to go to the audition. I just remember auditioning. It was like, cool, Resident Evil. I love this series. It'd be cool to get this job. And then later I got the call. You got the job for Chris Redfield. And I was pretty excited. So that's how I got the job. And from there, it was one of the early types of systems. I believe they called it a magnetic system, where they put these wired, it was tethered to like a big magnetic box or accelerometers or, the things that are in your iPhone that could kind of little mini GPS systems, which back in the day, 97, the tech was pretty bulky and old. And we were in this room, very small space. The capture space was tiny. Like, I don't want to say by 18 by 18 or something like that, 18 feet by, maybe even 8 feet, some weird rectangular shape, where we could only like walk 2 steps and we're out of the volume. And we were tethered, so we had a guy running around following us, carrying our wires, just like a cameraman has a wire wrangler guy following him around. So we had kind of one of those. And it was interesting because I had never worked with that technology before in that format. And it was fun, exciting. It felt like you were breaking new ground. And we had to take breaks every 3 hours because the system itself, the magnetic field it produced was so intense. It gave everybody headaches and made everybody nauseated. So nauseated, am I even saying that right? Nauseated. Nauseous. That's it. It made us nauseous. See, that's what happens when you live in Japan for 5 years. Your English, I can't even say English. Your English gets fried, and you kind of have this weird Jinglish thing going on where I'm speaking. Actually, for me, it's not Jinglish. For me, it would be Englandese is the proper term, I think, for guys like me. I don't speak English or Japanese. I speak Englandese. So I completely forgot what I was talking about now. But no, so this magnetic thing kind of gave us nausea. Yes, correct English. Yes, nausea. And it was really weird, and who knows what kind of cancers and growths and, how many lives, how many years off my life I've actually lost now for having done that. But I can say I was Chris Redfield, and that's all that matters. Next question. How did I get started in voiceovers? Okay, well, that was a little bit different. Again, having already kind of established myself, the way I got into the motion capture was having the martial arts and action background, getting pulled in that way. Same with voiceover. Instead of, I think like most voiceover artists out there who have a acting background, or some people just jump right into the voiceover world. Again, because of my motion capture experience, I got pulled into that. My first big gig that kind of put me on the map with voiceover was Devil May Cry 3. And I had done little bit parts here and there, voiceover deals. While living in Japan, I'd get hired as that gaijin voice, that says, "Come on, everybody, let's have a Sprite!" That kind of really ganky voice for English, or for any commercial or whatever it is. I did a couple of those, and DJ work, which isn't real DJ work over there. I think in Japan it's kind of, the word for kind of imitation or rip off is kind of inchki. So I call it inchki DJ because I was never really a real DJ. I was kind of an inchki DJ out in Japan, doing that kind of stuff. So anyways, the first real voiceover job that I can actually put on my resume and say I did that was Devil May Cry 3. And I got that job because I was the motion capture actor, and I had done the motion capture. I was thrown in the mix for the voiceover. And in a way, to be honest, at that time, my level as a voiceover actor was just not up to par. I was pretty weak and probably would have never have gotten that job if I hadn't already done the motion capture and really embraced the character. And then also on set, all the Japanese guys they'd been seeing me, hearing my voice. They kind of got used to it. So I had a little more of a chance there. And then when they did pick me, Mary Elizabeth McGlynn, awesome ADR director, awesome actress. She molded me into the voice actor that I needed to become for that role. So I owe her a lot, and thank you, Mary, for making that happen. So that's how that all happened. So the question is, what forms of martial arts have I studied? I could almost say I've studied every martial art on the planet, but I won't, because I probably haven't. But no, it's a lot of martial arts. I haven't, I've never really done one martial art to where I've mastered it, which is, I've never gotten a black belt in a single martial art. So, I've dabbed a lot in a lot of different things. That doesn't really make me, I don't really sell myself as a prolific in any specific martial art. I kind of do a little bit of it all, mixing gymnastics with karate, judo, a little bit of jiu-jitsu, jeet kune do, all the J's. Anything with a J on it is pretty much something I've done. No, I've done Aikido, jumping jacks, a lot of jumping jacks, and But yeah, really, literally, almost every major martial art that you can think of, because of my action cinema training and what I've had to learn for films. I've had to really study a lot of different types of styles and things, but just skimming on the base, there's probably the most experience I had was with like Taekwondo and Hapkido and Aikido, those kind of grappling deals. I just call the martial art a deal. Interesting. Deal some martial arts. All right, next question. The question is, how do I prepare for voice work when I do a game or an animation? Unlike most voice actors, or like most, I don't know, I am pretty much a one-voice guy. There's some really talented voice actors out there that can do all kinds of crazy stuff with their voice, and I haven't put in the work to get there. I'm sure I could, but it's a lot of work and of course talent as well. And those guys have done that. All the respect. So my roles and what I do, it's more of a tone. It's still my voice. It's just finding a little tone and getting into that character. So I try to find, if it's a little bit lower, a little bit higher, a little bit aged, a little bit gruffier, and that's about it, really. You can try to find what feels like that character, and then you just go with it. What feels right, man? Just go with your feeling. That's all you need. What has been my favorite character to do voice work for? Well, that's a tough one to say because there's aspects of every character that I love. But overall, I'm going to have to say Dante for Devil May Cry has been my favorite because of my real life character is not really like Dante. It's becoming more and more like Dante every day, but originally it was really far from that. And to kind of become that character and to put my voice out there and do the things that Dante did was really liberating, and it was really a lot of fun. And as much as I love throwing shoryukens and hadokens and that kind of stuff with Ken, that's awesome. I love it, and I'll embrace that forever. But there's just a little more depth with Dante and the kind of badass character he is that doesn't care and just kills demons. He's a demon, whatever. That's cool. So that's my favorite so far. Lots of fun. My childhood hero, Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee, like many young men from all ages, I'm sorry, not all ages, all cultures, young. So they're young. They're in that age category. Bruce Lee became a major influence in my high school teen years. Before that, Rick Hunter from Robotech. I wanted to be a pilot, just like Rick. I used to sing them a song from Mime, pilot, watashi wa pilot, or something like that, right? And then Bruce Lee became the man, and he has been an inspiration in my life ever since. And of course, after discovering Bruce, I discovered Jackie Chan and Sammo Hung and these other great martial artists, Jet Li, that have also been inspirations in my life as a martial arts action guy. But Bruce is just, he's got it all. He has the abs. He's got the forearms. Yeah, he's got the philosophy, most of all. I think that's really kind of held up through the years. And even now, still, I open up some of Bruce's books, the newer books, or even Tao Chi Kundo, some of these books that write out his philosophy and his martial art. I still train over at the Inasano Academy, and I'm learning new aspects of his martial arts and different stuff. So he never gets old. You can never get over Bruce. Bruce, man, I can't quit you. You're just so fine with those abs and all those oily bodies and nice forearms. I can't quit you, man. Yeah, Bruce Lee. What is my favorite kung fu movie? Drunken Master 2. Jackie Chan, Drunken Master 2. It was amazing. Still is. Holds up. I mean, I know I just went on the whole Bruce Can't Quit You thing, and that's true. Bruce has some amazing films, and every film is awesome. But those are awesome because of Bruce. Drunken Master 2 had a great, some of the best choreography. The Drunken Master choreography, obviously, but then Jackie just really amped it up, and the fight scenes are so long and kick-ass, and just, I've seen that movie over and over and over again, and studied it, and saw different scenes and how the martial arts played out, and it just, you can't get over it. It just, you're on the edge of your seat the whole movie. So that movie has been my inspiration. No, I take it back. It has been my favorite movie, my favorite martial arts movie. Have I ever cosplayed as Ken Masters or Dante in my leisure? No, I have not. I would love to play those characters in real life for a gig, for a movie that would be on the screen, as I did in the 1,000 Pounds action short, Street Fighter versus Tekken, The Devil Within. If you haven't seen it, go see that on YouTube. I think it just went over 2 million views, which is awesome. And in that, I didn't get to wear the red cool, Ken gi, but I kind of sported the Ken hair a little bit, and got a little red hoodie or something that kind of worked. It was. Actually, I'm really not satisfied enough. I'm satisfied I got to play Ken, but it wasn't a full cosplay thing. So, but I would totally jump on anything like that again. But wearing it around the house in my leisure, yeah, if it was like loose and nothing constricting, sure, why not? Pajama, Ken pajamas. Dante pajama coat. I bet you all the girls will dig that. What projects am I working on? Well, I'm working on some really interesting things that probably may or may not interest the typical anime gaming crew, or crowd, I should say. One of the most exciting announcements is we're doing a documentary. It's called The Citizens Hearing Disclosure Documentary. It's actually an event and a documentary about, it's a mock trial, actually, a congressional hearing with 40-plus witnesses, government witnesses from everybody from NASA to the FBI, CIA, FAA, nuclear physicists, lot of really cool guys who have experiences and who have experienced some sort of extraterrestrial presence, and they are going to testify in our mock trial for this thing called the Citizens Hearing. I think you can go to we're just getting this thing launched, so it's going to be the actual event isn't until early May, but you can go to citizenshearing.com or citizenshearing.org and check it out, because it's going to be a history-changing, game changer. And that's one. I'm working on an energy show that focuses on zero-point or alternative energies that basically put out more unity than they actually goes into them, and these things defy the laws of physics as they are taught in school, because what is taught in school may not necessarily be the laws of physics, and we're learning that every day too, because groundbreaking discoveries are happening every day in the quantum field, and we call them quantum because people don't want to admit that it's actual real physics. So anything that defies the original paradigm or the old paradigm of thinking, you just but that is quantum, and then that makes it okay. So lots of exciting new, groundbreaking, earth-changing paradigm shifting events is what's happening, in addition to the old voiceovers and cool martial arts flicks. And speaking of which, 1,000 Pounds is doing Clandestine. It's their own original series, picked up by Machinima for first 2 episodes. We should be going more after that. And you can see the teaser online. Just type in Clandestine or go to the 1,000 Pounds channel and YouTube channel, and you can check it out. A little teaser that we did. Amy Johnson, super badass martial arts chick, who is beautiful and can throw down. She's the star. And I think those are kind of the main projects I've been working on and coming to a theater/TV screen/internet channel near you. Question is, if I could be a member of any Super Sentai member team, which color would I choose and which one would it be? Well, giving that a little thought. First instinct would just say would be Time Force, because that was the series I worked on, and probably the Green Ranger, because he doesn't have to do a whole hell of a lot. He can kind of sit in the background, take a lot of the credit for being a cool ranger, and just let all the other guys deal with all the drama. I could be like doing energy shows and UFO deals, and maybe go off and do another series on the side, and nobody would even notice. So that's called multitasking. That the green dude, the Green Ranger, and Time Force. And I say Time Force just because what's better than traveling through time, huh? I mean, you get to see different times, different galaxies, different this. It's life gets. You change it up from day to day. You don't get stuck in your everyday routine of fighting bad guys and, saving the universe. It gets old after a while. You got to do something different, a little time travel. Yeah. Next question is, how do I feel about the direction for the DMC reboot? To be honest, the gameplay, let me start on a positive note. The gameplay, I've played it. It's pretty damn fun. It's actually, maybe, I don't know. I haven't played the other DMCs in a while, so when I picked it up, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, actually. So on gameplay, you got me. On the direction of the character, you're asking me, I'm going to be biased because, you're asking a guy who actually played the character for 2 games and became the character. And now you're asking somebody that has that history. You kind of know the answer. I don't even have to really answer it, but I am anyways. I don't like it. The direction of the story, there's some cool elements, but can we please have the old Dante back? I like that guy. He's awesome. And he has a cool red coat and a big sword, and the other guy has a blue thing, and it kind of sometimes turns red, and his hair's sometimes white, but not, let's just bring back the original dude, because he's right here. Let's rock, baby! And the final question is, what do I want people to take after reading this? I don't care. Take what you want. It's an article. Enjoy it. Have fun. If you don't like it, that's fine too. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you want with this. I want people to do whatever they want with this and everything in life. Because really, what are we doing here? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Not, is this article going to make me this or that? And this ties into the first question. Who are we? Who am I? What is Reuben Langdon? It's just a name. We're all given names, and then we take them on as personalities, and then we say we are this or we are that. Again, getting back to the first question. And we classify it by what we've done, which I'm starting to think, is that the right way to go about it? Do we, we've been kind of trained our whole life with society into thinking that we are what we've done. Well, I think we need to look at this and take a different look. I mean, there's more there, obviously. I mean, what if I had raped and pillaged and murdered a million people in Russia? And I mean, that's, and then I'm that guy that's known for that. I'm like that Hitler guy or something, right? So that's, yes and no. There's something there, but I think there's more to it, and I haven't figured it out. That's why I'm having this kind of dialogue in my head right now as I'm answering this question. But I think we are more. What I'm trying to say is there's more to each of us, individually and collectively, than just what we've done. Because what would that make a baby? A baby who's just born. Some babies don't even have names. The parents haven't thought about that. But what is that? The baby's like very precious. There's something there. And yet it doesn't have any credits. It hasn't been on TV yet. And it hasn't done anything. But yet it's very precious. And there's something deep and profound there. We need to look at that. That is who we are. And that is who I am. And that is who you are. And we are collectively something much greater than our IMDb page or our Facebook page.